Like, could you imagine my members seeing me going through the drive-thru? They're like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
I was at ice cream. We were getting ice cream. My wife and I, we took the motorcycle out. This was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And we stopped at Annie's out here in Campbelltown.
Okay.
It was like a Sunday. We're out for a cruise on a motorcycle. We're like, let's stop and get ice cream. And one of my members was walking by. I was like, busted. You got me. But you know what I mean? It's a freaking ice cream cone.
Yeah.
No, so it's funny because
That's
the
so
whole
funny. I was exactly going to say the same
yeah,
thing.
the whole point for us to start this is to kind of open people's eyes to who our members are.
Yeah.
And let them kind of take a peek inside our club and learn, like, we're just regular people. You know what I mean? Everybody may have a different goal, but everybody has a reason to start. You know what I mean? And we just want to make it comfortable for people that maybe have never walked into a gym. One, this podcast shows them, gets to actually see the people that are members.
Sure.
Gets to hear their story. They may relate with, like, why they started working out. Yeah. So we try to get all walks of life. You know, we had men and women, all different ages as members. Yeah. And we just bring you guys on here to kind of share your story. And one, why you got started. Two, what it's done for you. And, you know, Alex got us rolling. So today, out there in podcast land, we have Ken Lumm.
Rock and roll.
He's one of the members at Palmyra. I get to see him in here all the time, different hours a day. Your wife's a member. Yeah. She's pretty much dedicated mornings, right? Like she comes in
right before work.
5 a.m.
Start at 7 a.m. So 5 a.m. she's there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
sometimes I'm there.
I see you sometimes. I see you sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. I see you guys sometimes working together. But yeah, she's consistently morning, and then I kind of see you throughout the day whenever. Yeah. So let's start with this. Ken, where are you from, and what do you do for a living?
Yeah, right. So I live right up the street. So sometimes I'll actually walk to the gym, get that walk in before, you know what I mean? So yeah, I live right up the street, and I am a private investigator for line of work. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
so that's something I never knew.
Yeah.
We never got to talk about like what you do for a living.
Yeah.
I always tell like different types of industries because it's different times you come into the gyms and stuff, right? So if someone's like, you're kind of all over the place. So I'm like, he must be self-employed, you know what I mean? Yeah. And kind of has flexibility in the schedule. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
But we're also 24/7 because no matter what your schedule is, you can get into the club and work out.
Yeah, that's great having it 24/7, having that option, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, in the private, I love what I do, but it's a really, you know, stagnant kind of job where you're sitting all day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like
you're kind of just watching.
Yeah, sitting, watching, waiting, you know, and you know, doing some online research. Now I primarily work from home now, but I was in the field for about 7 years.
Okay.
But yeah, stuck in the car all day.
Dude, let's talk about that because I don't know too many private investigators. Like, what got you into that?
You know, I was always in like the security industry out of college. So, you know, there were some skills that translated, you know, situational awareness and, you know, being able to interact with people and, you know, report writing, documentation, stuff like that. So it translated over to the investigative industry. That's kind of wound up going into it green and found success. And now I'm just I'm pretty much running operations for the company. Okay. So I have a team of investigators that report to me now. And I just run the Northeast area.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm sure that industry has changed with all the technology and everything.
Yeah. I mean, with the online research for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some AIs that's built into it too, and trying to do that. But ultimately, I don't see the position going away just because there's a human element to it where you're tracking somebody and you know, trying to find out what's going on. Yeah. And we don't do any like matrimonial relationship stuff.
Okay.
That's the one thing that we don't do. We primarily stick with like financial crimes, medical fraud, things like that.
Insurance, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably smart. I can only imagine that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the relationship
mess in there, bro. Yeah, you see some of those shows it's like catch their husband,
cheaters
at Waffle
on TV,
House in parking lots. Yeah. That's cool. That's gotta be exciting. So that's very cool. Yeah. So how has fitness helped maybe your work, like, and tell us a little bit, like, one, why you got started in fitness, and two, like how it's helped you.
Yeah. Well, I think throughout the years, the different reasons on why you keep coming back and why you keep going change. It always seems like that morphs and develops throughout the years on different reasons or in different goals that you might have. I could say the days that I don't come to the gym and don't get the workout, those are the hardest days. Just because you have that mental brain fog, you know what I mean? You don't have that stress relief that you have at the gym. Right. Working from home, the gym provides like a social outlet too.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that's such a good benefit, like just for any kind of mental health, just coming to the gym and getting a sweat.
Dude, it's I'll say it all the time. It's medicine. Like if
Yeah.
people that maybe are listening to this that have not joined a gym or not started an exercise program in some aspect, don't realize how it is like medicine.
Yeah.
And it changes your entire feel of the day.
Yeah.
Like if you miss a workout, not only do you know you missed it, but like you said, you get that fog and you don't feel as good, and it is the only way I can explain it is that it is medicine.
Yeah.
It is like taking a freaking vitamin. Yeah. And it just makes you feel better.
Throw out the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell
Go
yeah.
for a walk.
It's better than pharmaceuticals, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I can remember one time, I normally don't, I work out Monday through Friday and then weekends I take off. And there was sometime during the week that I missed a workout. My day just went to shit. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I came home and both my wife and my daughter said, "What is wrong with you? You're an asshole." And I'm like, "Nothing." And right away, my wife's like, "Did you work out today?" I was like, "No." And she goes, "Don't ever do it again. Don't ever come home without working out first."
Yeah,
I'm like, because I know I'm an asshole if I don't work out because one, I know I didn't work out. So that's eating me alive.
Yep.
Two, I'm stressed out because of whatever happened that I didn't work out is stressing me out. And then it's just, you take it out of everybody around
and
you.
There's real science behind it too. You know what I mean? With the dopamine that you get and for going to the gym and stuff like that, like it's legit. So I wish the medical community would actually come promote that more than relying on different substances or different pills or whatever.
Dude, there was 100%. There was a doctor, I actually told him, I said, "You should start writing scripts for exercise." And it was for someone that was in my life that was going to get help. And I wasn't agree. Like it was always just write a script for, antidepressants or something.
It should be part of our medical plans.
Yeah.
Our medical benefit plans. The gym memberships should be built into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you should get a discount.
RFK, what are you doing?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do it. But no, I got pissed at the lady and she was like offended. I was like, "Stop writing all these scripts for frickin' pills and start writing exercise scripts. Like you must go to the gym." Because I'm telling you, it makes a difference. But they don't get no kickback for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, that's a whole nother.
You might have to start that, develop that.
Yeah, well, I will say this: like the insurance companies, and for people that don't know, like there is insurance companies that I'm just going to say how it is. They sell gym memberships, and it pisses me off. In one side because they have no skin in the game. They're not paying the rents. They're not buying the equipment. They're not fixed. So there's no money out of their pocket to help the facilities run.
Right. That makes sense.
And they pay like the minimal amount for a person to come in and work out.
Yeah.
And it started out, it was always seniors, and I was all for it. I was like, this is great. It's keeping these people active and exercise. But now they're actually going after, I have teenage members that are on insurance memberships.
Oh, I didn't even think about that aspect of it.
It's like dude, and these guys, why someone will do it is because, I just call them the gym sluts because they have the insurance membership and they can go any gym they want, right? Okay. And obviously, you're going to go wherever's convenient most of the time. But they also can go, if they're out of town, which is great, they can go somewhere. But they handcuff the gym owners because they only pay for 9 visits. And it's X amount of dollars, and that's the cap. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, dude, like, you're killing us because they're now selling gym memberships.
I never thought about it.
But they're not in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thought about it like that.
So it's like, I love that they're selling gym memberships because we're helping people, because that's the whole reason I'm in this industry.
You got to help the gyms at the same time.
But you got to, like, come on, man. Yeah. You can afford to pay us a little bit more. You know what I mean?
You got to lobby organization and Congress. That's what you need.
It's crazy because I always say, like, if all the gym owners would get together and say, you know what, enough's enough, but you could never get everybody to say.
Right.
Because we don't have to take the insurance.
Right, okay.
I can say, no, I'm not doing it. You have to buy a house membership. Mm-hmm. But if I do that, then they're just going to go somewhere else.
I see.
That they can get the free workout, right? So it's kind of like, it's messed up. Yeah. But So insurance does help a little bit in the fact that they're trying to get people exercising.
Yeah. The vision is right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just the particulars
compensation
on how to implement it properly. Yeah.
Because we have maintenance fees, one time a year.
Sure.
So that helps with whether a new air conditioning unit or repairs on equipment.
Sure.
And those insurance membership, we don't get any of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think we talked a little bit earlier before we were on about just people feeling like judged when they walk through the door, that they're going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Right.
And I like what you said, because you said we're not judging them when they walk through the door, because we're like high five. We're like, hey, bro, you're taking action, man.
Yeah.
You're actually taking action. And it's funny because we both kind of had the same.
We had the same thought.
Scenario is the only time we're judging you is when you're at McDonald's or Burger King eating 6 burgers and you're obese. And now I'm judging you. I'm like, man, what are you doing? You're killing yourself.
Yeah.
But you could be morbidly obese and walk through our front door and I'll freaking hug you.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
and you know what? It's funny because when you walk through the door, whether you're, senior gym member or not, you don't know what kind of people you're impacting. Right. So you might come in through the door and you're overweight or whatever, but you don't know who's looking at you and what motivation tools that you're supplying for them. Right. So even some of the guys, like there is a guy here, he has one arm. Right.
Yep.
He motivates me.
He had 2 arms.
You know what I mean?
He just lost that arm this past year.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine, I would love to get him on the show, because
that'd be great.
To have all your limbs and then one day the doctor says we're going to have to remove your arm.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get into it too deep because I'm sure there's some HIPAA stuff there, but he removed his arm and then he wasn't able to drive. So even though he wanted to come to the gym, he wasn't able to drive for so long because they had to set up his car that he could drive with one arm.
Yeah.
And he said his wife brought him one day and he didn't want to have to rely on someone to get him to the gym. He wanted to come back when he knew he could be dedicated to it and do it. And now finally he's back to normal and coming in. But yeah, there's so many people making excuses out there that are just bullshit excuses.
It's like I like to motivate, but I also like to be motivated.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like that seeing that motivates me. And he has no idea. Like I've never talked to him or anything like that. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Like if you're a new member or you're funny about coming in, sometimes you don't know the effect that you're going to have on people.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And that judgment that you feel is positive. That's positive judgment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But ultimately, the main person you got to worry about is that man in the mirror or woman in the mirror. So use that as the judgment and the motivation.
Yeah. So do you have an experience with that? Like what? So let's talk about what made you start, right?
Yeah. I was thinking back on that. There's a few different instances. Like I came from a very active family. Sports. My brother and sister were always active. So we kind of had that foundational skill set where my parents instilled that healthy mindset, that active mindset, that sports. And so I always had kind of like a feel for the gym setting. I was in and out, but never really took it seriously as a kid, but being able to go in there as a kid puts you as a good foundation for when you're, going to go back eventually. You know what I mean? But I remember sitting in the kitchen and I got married and kind of let myself go. And I was tying my shoes and I was like, why is it hard to tie my shoes right now? I'm getting out of breath. I'm like, what is going on? I said to my wife, like, what the heck? So, it's those like little things that happen where it's like, hey, there's a signal here that, hey, maybe somebody's telling you something.
Yeah.
And my brother, he was really always into the gym. My sister's a body pump instructor.
Oh, all right.
So they've got my brother's physique, like beautiful. My sister, I'm like, man, something's
You're
going
the slacker.
On. Yeah. His older brother got to get a good example, And then my brother had passed away tragically. And, it just reconnecting with the gym, like going to the gym was a way to reconnect with my brother, and be able to, put the headphones on, listen to some music that we both shared, and meditate on that and connect with him. You know what I mean? Because every day at the gym was a day that he was front and center in my brain and my mind.
Yeah.
So that was it was just like such a good motivational tool. And like, that was, 6-7 years ago. So now to this day, every time I go to the gym,
you think of him.
he's with me and, I think about him.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
He was an older brother?
Younger brother.
Oh, younger brother.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he,
Yeah.
I mean, he knows now, but he had no idea what he was setting that foundation for you to, and the relationship. Dude, that's awesome.
So it's good.
It's got to be hard losing. Listen, we all know it's hard to lose anybody, even if you see it coming, but it's a whole nother ball game if it's tragedy and it's like, shit, the rug is ripped out from underneath you.
Yeah.
I kind of have, it's not similar in the fact that I lost my sister to juvenile diabetes. She died in 2017, which we knew.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was going to outlive her unless something bad happened to me. And she was born on the 13th, died on the 13th, and her number was that was just her go-to number. And 13, everybody knows, like, it's unlucky, right?
Right?
I never, ever, ever stopped a set at 13. Like, I'm getting 12, and if I get 12, I'm getting 15.
That's awesome.
Now, there'll be times where I'm shooting for 10,
and
I'm like, you know what? No, I'm getting 13.
That's awesome.
And I'll get, all the time, I'm stopping at 13 because of her. So it pushes me, like, because I'm a personal trainer, most of us are capable of getting 3 more reps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, screw it. I'm going for 13.
Yeah.
And I'll get there.
Yeah, it's that mental fatigue you sits in before the physical sometimes.
Yeah.
You know
oh my God, yeah. Well, you already set yourself up. Like, okay, I'm doing 3 sets of 10.
Yeah.
And you're like, you get 10, you're like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
But really, you could have probably got 13, 15, maybe even 20.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because I was at the beginning stages, I was always looking for, real competition. I'm pretty competitive, and, my family, we get in, competitions with each other and things like that. So we were doing like planks. We were like, okay, let's do some planks, right? This. So we would do like 2-minute planks and everything like that. And it was just like the standard 2-minute plank. And then my mother, 67 years old, I'm like, all right, Mom, you doing this with us? She goes 2 minutes. 3 minutes.
Get the hell out.
4 minutes.
Get the hell out.
She does a 5-minute plank.
Does she normally work out? Like she's...
Yeah, she went to the gym today. She likes to work out.
Dude, I love this. People out that are listening to this are probably like, what a bunch of sick son of bitches, like having fitness competitions. But it's no different than playing like a board game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's entertainment. It's competitiveness, and hell, it's good for you. You know what I mean?
So she set the standard. You know what I mean? So the new standard is if you're doing a plank, you better be
go
doing 5 minutes.
bro. That's great. That's tough too, man.
It is.
Because at 3 minutes,
you're shaking.
My lower back starts like cramping up. Like,
oh yeah, shoulders are burning.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
so
that's
and then
great.
I just saw just the other day there was a TED Talk, and they were talking about planks. Actually, they were like 90% of the plank is mental.
Yeah.
And then the 10%. So and that rang true, man. And I don't know what that says about my mother. She's stubborn, I guess.
Bro, she's a beast. That's what it's saying, man. That's
You're a stubborn son of a gun.
Dude, women are tough, man. You know what I mean? There's a reason that they can get pregnant.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Because like there's a whole nother ball game to a woman that is probably the man will never understand the strength of a woman.
Yeah, that's true.
And I always like to say behind every great man is a greater woman.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, the planks was a good standard, but that's what keeping it fun at the gym, you know, and that's why it's good to have like a gym buddy or a gym partner, you know, like my wife. I'm blessed to have my wife come to me at the gym, and she likes it, because I was like, it would be a lot more difficult to, be doing this solo, if I didn't have that other companionship to help motivate you.
It's 100%. It makes a huge difference if, let's just look at the other way. Let's say you were trying to stay fit and your wife was like, let's get McDonald's.
Yeah.
That makes it difficult. So it's definitely a lot easier if everybody in the household is kind of on the same mission to be a little bit healthier. Dinners are going to be healthier. Fitness is part of the routine. And if you have kids, you're setting the foundation for them. They're like, this is what we do. Yeah. Like you work, you go to the gym, you eat healthy. You get good rest, and you have plank competitions.
Yeah. Plank competition.
Dude, I love that. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna get my wife tonight. We're doing plank competition.
There's a trick to it. You know how you mentally, what you think. That's what I do. What I think about, right? So it goes through like stages. Yeah. I'll let you know the trick off camera. I can't let everyone.
All right. Well, like you said, it's a mind thing, right? Yeah. So like you start thinking of tapping out, and then again, we're all capable of more. So it's a matter of how much more.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
but
that.
she helps keep me on track. She does a lot. She does a lot of that food tracking too, right? With the diet,
Yep.
right? So can't outrun a bad diet,
No.
And so she really keeps me on point with, and I don't measure every meal, you know what I mean? But it's good to get a baseline,
Right.
right? Just do it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, because you're going to eat pretty much the same thing over
Right.
2
Yeah.
Not the same thing every night, but in 2
Yeah.
weeks, you're probably not going to go outside of the box too much.
But
You know
what
what I
you'll
mean?
find is you're vastly underestimating how many calories you're eating, and you're underestimating how many calories you're burning.
Yeah.
Right. So, but information, you'll get the right information, and then you could just make better educated decisions in the future.
Yeah. Just
But if you don't know, you don't know.
No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. And I think, well, one of the things, and I think we're going to go towards the peptide talk here, is most Americans overeat like portion sizes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a serving, most are eating 2 or 3
Yeah.
in some cases.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just knowing like what a serving size is half the battle. And then I think, well, I know the reason that these GLPs are so successful is because that's one thing it does.
Help to diminish that.
It helps your hunger. It's in your mind. It's fixing your brain to trigger that you're still hungry, and then it also slows down your digestive, so it keeps you fuller longer.
Sure.
But what most people don't realize is that yes, you're losing that weight, but you're losing muscle mass if you're not doing strength training. So the most important thing that we're trying to educate, and the reason that New York Fitness actually supplies peptides now is because this, one, we stand behind it. 2, it's not going away. And we figure you're coming here. There's a reason you get a gym membership, whether it's stress relief or you have some other type of goal like weight loss or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The peptides are here to help you.
Yeah.
And we want to be part of that. Just one, to be able to get them cheaper for people that can afford them, so they can be affordable. And 2, just to educate and show the importance that yes, these are here to aid you, but you still have to exercise and do strength training because your muscle mass, your bone density, everything. If you just take the GLPs, everything else is diminishing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they're not going to move mountains. They'll do some incremental changes, but the other things need to be on point. You know what I mean?
And you need to figure out your nutrition.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you can't just because it took your hunger away. It doesn't mean just eat a Snickers bar.
Right.
You're getting no nutrition.
Replace that with junk calories, right? And you're setting yourself up for failure if you ever come off of them or anything like that.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing is that it should be a launch to get you to healthiness, but then not something that you're just going to be on the rest of your life. It's come off, now have a better nutritional guide and have a better exercise plan that you can maintain. Where they've gotten you to.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our whole thing is trying to educate people, and we've actually got it into the training department that we give it to cost. If you're training with our training department, we're giving you like rock bottom, like what we can get it for. We had to invest.
Them from a safe source, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just because,
Yeah, we're with doctors, so you actually have to go through the doctor portal.
Yeah.
We send you the invitation, you go through, you get that link, doctors clear you, and then we're free.
Yeah.
But peptides are so much more than just weight loss. And I think we should talk about that a little bit because it's not that me and you are trying to lose weight. We're trying to stay young.
Yep.
2, we're trying to be as pain-free as we can when the older you get, like elbows, knees, shoulders, all that good stuff. So I started that Wolverine stack probably about 3 weeks ago because I just could not get rid of this elbow. It was my tricep tendon. And I'm normally good at rehabbing and figuring out, like letting things recover. And for 3 months, this thing would not give up. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to teach you. So I got that.
Feeling?
Dude, I feel like not only did my everything, like my knees, like after I do a heavy leg, I couldn't do heavy leg days anymore because for 3 days, my knees just ached. And I think it's, I was a sprinter, played soccer. I think just all the impact over the years of me younger playing sports. I didn't even think about my knees. And last week I noticed I was doubled my weight on a leg extension and I had no knee pain the next day. And I was like, oh my God, these things are the best thing.
They could really help with that recovery, that inflammation control, even sleep, right? Sleep
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Things like that. And, pulsing that growth hormone as well.
Yep.
So you could try and, helps facilitate being able to cut some weight, but not lose muscle at the same time. So retain that muscle, build that muscle,
Yep.
but shed that weight if you need to cut, because, lean is law in 2026.
Yes, sir.
We are law-abiding citizens.
I like that. I like that. I can tell you this, and I don't know if it's mentally or that I'm thinking this, but like I have readers at every desk. I'm 53, so the eyesight's starting to go. I'm not wearing contacts. I got readers, and then I do have bifocals that I can wear, and then if I'm reading somebody, I just use the bifocal. And I hate wearing glasses. They're just inconvenient.
Yeah,
you got to carry them around. It's like, where did I put them? So I try not to wear them.
I can't imagine you wearing glasses. I've never seen you wear those.
Well, Monday morning when I'm at the desk working, man, I got my sometimes I forget how one. I walk out and they're like, "Oh, you look very smart today." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." I truly think that it's starting to help with my eyesight.
Well,
the peptides.
Yeah.
Because I'll challenge myself, and I'll try to read stuff that normally, and I'm starting to like actually see better. I'm like, either, and I really think it's a muscle too, right? Just like exercising your body.
Yeah.
If you exercise your eye, if I always go to those glasses, my eyesight's just going to keep getting worse.
Yeah.
So I try to, use my vision as much as I can, and I feel over the last like 3 weeks, my vision's actually getting better.
Yeah.
I'll know when I go back to the eye doctor, but
yeah.
I really think it's helping with everything.
The peptides, there's a lot of different, different peptides targeting different areas, right? So my recommendation would just, do the research, get your blood work done, make sure you got your research, the dosing, the time of day, if you're fasted or not, so kind of just have that information and gather that information, do it in a safe manner, and just know, what to expect from it, but it's not this miracle elixir that's just going to cure everything. Yeah. Other things need to be on point. Your workouts need to be on point. Your diet needs to be on point. Your things sleep. Like that.
Yeah, everything. No,
but 100%. I think the biggest one that is super safe and that to recommend is just creatine, right? And that's easy. Yep. Creatine is super safe, the most studied supplement in the history of time. No side effects.
Yeah. And they found it does more than just ATP, like muscle energy. Yeah. They're saying like vision, dementia, everything, like just everything. So
it's not just for bodybuilders or muscle. No. Like if you're if you're older and aging and things like that, it'll help with cognition and processing time and stuff like that. So it's a great supplement, and it's just something I've been on it for years. You know what I mean?
I take 10 grams every day. Yeah. I remember it first came out, dude. I was with Gold's. And I would have mothers call me and say, "Do not let my son," like these teenage kids, they'd be like, "Do not let my son buy creatine when he's at the gym." And I'm like, "Okay, it's safe, but okay." But I think kids were like taking it and then be dehydrated, and then they're at like football practice in the middle of the summer doing 2-a-days, and they're cramping up and having all these issues. Yeah. You got to stay hydrated. But yeah, I remember it first came out, man. It was like, no, it's bad for you. It's found in red meat. It's not bad for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's actually really, everybody should take it.
If you want to eat 16 ounces of steak every day, then I guess you don't got to take it.
Right. Well, I did have someone just recently last month tell me that he gets enough creatine from his red meats. I said, no, you don't. No. I don't even know what you eat, but you'd have to eat red meat for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. You're not getting enough. But to each his own, whatever.
I do. Have you heard of Element? It's like electrolytes. It's a powder drink mix. Okay. So that I have every day too, just for the electrolytes rather than just drinking water. So you're getting the potassium, the magnesium, and stuff like that while you're doing that. So just because hydration's important.
Yeah. People don't realize like muscle is 70% water. Yeah. You got to stay hydrated. You know what I mean? You got to.
Because when I wake up, in order to fix that and stay hydrated, when I wake up, just power slam 16 ounces of water, bam, right down the gullet, So for me, everyone's a little bit different because genetics are real. But for me, in the morning, if I just power slam that in the morning and I sip, I drink my Element throughout the day and whatever I do, it'll sustain me throughout the day with my hydration. So, I know,
that's the best way to start your day is hydrate. And most of the time I work out in the morning, so I get my black coffee to get me going, and then I go right to my Total War, and I sip that on the way
Was it
in.
the pre-workout?
Yeah, dude. I start sipping that, man. I like to go. I wake up and I go from like 0 to like 100.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to mess around. I just want to get going.
Yeah.
But when I work out, when I get here, then I'm drinking like 3 or 4 bottles of water while I'm working out.
Well, I would
Stay
suffer
hydrated.
from bad muscle cramps too.
Okay.
Like, and it was, it's interesting. Like, if I would work out like back or something like that, my biceps will be cramping up. If I work chest, my triceps will be cramping up.
Yep.
Right. But then once I figured out the minerals and the hydration, it just went away.
You know your problems,
Yeah. So it's just like, oh my God.
The first thing that starts cramping up me is weird. It's my knuckles. Like,
Really?
dude, my knuckle. I swear to God, like I'll just be like, and it hurts like hell, and I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm like, you're dehydrated. Like that's the first thing that starts my knuckles.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
but it's weird because those muscle cramps, it's also like a neurological, like, because sometimes like you might be good, you're hydrated, your minerals are good, and then you still get a cramp, and you're like, what's that about? So the research I've done, right, is that sometimes it's just a residual neurological thing where like it's still firing, but your muscles aren't supposed to be moving. So your spinal cord and will be firing that muscle, like, and that's what I'll get it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So yeah,
that makes sense. No, it's. I mean, nutrition is such a big part of it, and like we mentioned, like you can't outrun it, right? You got to pay attention to it, and you don't have to eat perfect. You know what I mean? Like when I first started getting into like personal training, I would always tell everybody, I was like, look, just work out, and then you get a cheat day.
Yeah.
And I was young, and I don't think I knew how to address like some people don't deserve a cheat day yet. You know what I mean? Like you've been cheating for 5 years. This is why you look like you do, and why you're unhealthy, and why you have diabetes, and you're going to have a heart attack. You don't get a cheat day right now.
Yeah.
Now I'm older. I'm like, I just tell it. I was like, dude, no. You maybe in 3 months you can get a cheat day. You know what I mean? And I'm fine saying that now. I'm like, you know what?
Manage what the cheat day looks like, right?
Right.
So
or maybe it's a cheat meal. Like you get like a small piece of cake at the birthday party.
Exactly.
You're not getting the whole day of cheating. Like you know what I mean? It's your anniversary. Okay.
We've done every year. My wife and I will do a 5-day fast.
Okay.
So we'll do water for 5 days, twice a year.
Is it tough?
It's not fun.
No, I've never done it, so I'm thinking, holy shit.
It's not.
I don't
fun.
know if I could do that.
It's not fun, but
So no protein.
no, nothing, just water. Yeah, just water.
How
for
do you
5
feel?
days. Well, it's a struggle. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
No, I'm telling you, I can't imagine. Like, dude, listen, I got my colonoscopy, right, and my wife's like, "This is what you can have." I'm like,
Yeah.
I need protein. I need protein.
Yeah. I like it. Like I do, even though
it just
sucks.
cleans you out.
You know, you're just you feel empty, right?
Yeah.
But like the hunger fluctuates, right? So there'll be times that you're hungry. It'll pass. Drink some water,
yep.
right? The hunger passes. You know, they always ask like, well, what day is the hardest? You know, and it's just like, I don't know. They all suck.
Yeah. Depends on what minute I'm in.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. That first meal when you're done.
Oh, dude,
So
what's your
good.
go-to?
So
Do you eat something healthy, or do you like?
Yeah, first meal is salmon, rice, and some vegetables with some lemon juice. It's like an explosion in your mouth.
Yeah, like flavor. Yeah, I'd be like salmon or steak.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't pick chicken for my first one, but yeah, salmon or steak would be good.
Yeah, but it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I can't imagine 5 days. Like I do that like how many hours for that?
But you know, it's not a diet plan. Like that's not why we're doing it. We're not doing it for a diet plan. Like there's science behind it for sure, right? If you research and find the studies and the scientific evidence on, you know, autophagy and like what, you know, the different like ketosis that you're going in, like there is, right? And you could get into the weeds and try to find all that. I recall on exactly what happens, I don't know. But ultimately, it's also like just a mental and spiritual reset.
Yeah.
Right. Where you're depriving yourself of something that you know is right in the fridge.
Well, it's also a challenge, right? So it's like you're not gonna beat me.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna win.
It's just, and then you appreciate food. You appreciate food, right? Because like sometimes it's just like, man, you got to remind yourself, like, you know, how comfortable we are. We live in this cookie cutter world, and sometimes we just got to get more in touch with our primal self. You know.
Well, dude, I think the biggest word that I like that stuck out, comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the, and I've said it probably before. that is the worst place to be.
Yeah.
Is comfortable.
Yeah.
I've hit that in business where I got comfortable and business started going downhill. I've hit that in relationships and your relationships starts going downhill.
Yeah.
Exercise programs, I've hit it where this is comfortable. That's definitely not good because it's working out. It shouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest danger zone. So if someone can say that they're comfortable, I think they really got to step back and why are you comfortable? Yeah. You're either taking a relationship for granted, your business, you're just saying, I made it, and you think the business is going to stay there. Your exercise program is you're just trying to maintain, but you won't. You'll actually start degressing.
It's that complacency adaptation.
Yeah.
You know, where you're just, and I find myself, honestly, I was thinking about this. You get into kind of that rut where it's that same workout, you do what you're good at.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to focus on what you're good at, avoid the exercises that.
Dude, there's machines out there I hate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you piece of shit. You haven't done that one in a long time. Do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, it's this it's the little guys on your shoulder, right? They're like, you're good enough. You don't need to do that. You're a piece of shit. Get over there and do that.
Right.
And yeah, you got to listen to that voice, that negative voice sometimes and telling you like,
that's
hey.
what I try to, it's, when you structure the workouts, like I said, I do what I'm used to, do what I'm good at, do what and so I try to just throw in something that's going to be, you want to apply your workouts to real life scenarios and work more in like that transverse plane of motion, right? So just those movements. Can you pull yourself up over the ledge? Can you jump over the car? You know, being able to live in that kind of dynamic life. So when those events happen and you need to respond to something, you're available.
You know your body can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's funny because just today I did legs before we worked out.
Yeah.
Before we came up, we're not working out right now. Before we got on this podcast, and I was like, well, I'm gonna do some kettlebell swings just to get cardio up a little bit. And I was like, you should just do them on top of the Bosu ball. And I was like, no, I'm doing lunges. This is all the conversation I'm having with myself, right?
Yeah.
Like, one, I'm a trainer. Two, I'm nuts. So I'm like, no, you're good because you're doing walking lunges with the kettlebell swings. Just do the kettlebell swings. I'm like, no, but you're 53. Get on the damn Bosu ball because you're going to lose your balance.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And the closer we get to 60, the more your balance goes out the window. So I'm like, dude, you're not getting any farther away from 60, so get on the damn Bosu ball. Yeah. So I did kettlebell swings on the Bosu ball.
You got to do legs.
You got to do legs.
If you don't do legs, your wife or girlfriend will never respect you.
Right?
So you got to do legs.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's challenging yourself. And even if you're in good shape, it's still picking things that still challenge you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the key is just understand you're not always going to be motivated to come to the gym. And it's discipline.
Yeah. Well, you rely on discipline. It's the motivation's good every now and then, right? But there's going to be days that you're not motivated.
Yep.
You got to rely on discipline at that time. You know what I mean? And discipline's really the word, because you'll run out of that motivation. You know what
100%.
I mean?
Yeah.
So. But leg day is leg day.
No, it's Wednesday. For
me,
it's Wednesday, and it's like I can't wait till Wednesday's over with. You know what I mean? But you still got to do it.
What do you do? What do you do to recover? Do you take rest? So you take rest days on the weekends?
Yeah. Well, I'm in here Monday through Friday, so the weekends not only is it a timeout from stress of operating a business. It's a timeout for my workouts too and let my body recover.
Yeah.
I've tried to do 7-day training periods, and my body's just like, no, like my elbows. And maybe now since I'm on the Wolverine, I probably could do 7 days. I should try it. But when I did it, my body was like, you need a timeout, buddy. Like you need to take a break.
Like your muscles and even your central nervous system just needs that time.
Well, and the most important time, like your workouts are very important, but people got like you're breaking down your body, you're tearing down the muscle.
Yep.
The time it's growing, recovering is when you're not doing anything. Yep. So that break is very important for your recovery.
100%.
And I mean, I know is like you see kids coming in here and they're here for like 3 hours and they're here 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a little bit different because they got higher testosterone levels and they got more energy and they're younger, joints and everything can take it. But for the younger kids that are trying to put on mass, like they need to take a break because you can overtrain.
Yeah.
And
real.
if a muscle's not recovered, you didn't allow it to recover and you're tearing it down again and it's still tore down from the last workout. So
Well, that's what's good getting older. You get more in tune with your
Right,
body. You
right.
can listen to your body, know when, and what I try to do is like, I don't plan days off, because what ends up happening is you plan a day off, and then the next day comes
Yeah.
and something happens and you can't go.
Right.
So now or the next day something. So it's like, for me, it's like, if I could go, I'm going to go.
I'm going to go.
If I can't go, I can't go. And that'll be my
love
off day.
Yeah.
You know
So how
what I
many
mean?
days a week do you normally try to get in? Like 5 to 7?
I'd say about 5 to 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. 5 to 6.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's
But
it's
that
important.
recovery is super important. And it's great that we have the massage therapy here too.
Yeah,
That's
No,
awesome.
and she's amazing because one, she works with all walks of life, but her being in the 3 locations, she has more experience working out with people that exercise
Yeah.
than I'll say any other massage therapy
Right.
place in our network or in our area or in our community.
Right.
So when you go to her and say, "Hey, it hurts when I do this exercise," I've seen her already come out and take people to the bench press and say, go through the range of motion, and she can see she's like got hands to heal. Like, and
That's awesome.
she'll just grab you and she's like, "Oh, right here." I'm like, "Ah," and she just dig into that knot and just fix it. So she's really good at what she does.
Yeah.
And I love having her she stays busy. She goes to all 3 locations. So
Yeah,
sometimes we're like chasing each other. I'll see her in Lebanon. I'm like, "Hey," and then we'll see each other in Palmyra, and then we'll see each other in Utah. I'm like, she's like, "You follow me?" I said, "No." But yeah, she's 100% dedicated to helping.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference having an actual massage therapist and not just a massage bed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
No,
she can actually,
there's a difference for sure.
yeah.
That's sports massage. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about recovery. So that's
Yeah.
part of recovery, right? I know that we talked a little bit before we got started. You've got some setups at the house now.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah,
I got it
so-
set up. I was like, hey man, we're gonna start this life of fitness. We gotta
All in.
focus on. Yeah. And it's funny how things develop over time. You know what I mean? It's not like one day all this just appears. It's just it's a lifestyle, and it's just a focus and a hobby and an interest. You know what I mean? And it's all focused towards the goal of living a healthy life.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we set up at the house. We set up sauna, ice bath, hot tub, treadmill, yoga spot. You know,
I love it.
So the
So
ice
what's your
bath-
favorite?
the hot tub?
It's a damn fly. Take the fly spotter. The hot tub's your favorite?
Oh, yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah, it's
That's comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the ice plunge.
Yeah, the plunge.
So what do you try to do? 3 minutes?
Yeah, so what from the research I've found is what you want to. The goal is 11 minutes per week over the course of a week.
Okay.
And then you can structure that 11 minutes however you want, right? So however you want to divide it up.
Okay.
And as far as the temperature is concerned, it's the temperature needs to be cold enough that you want to get out.
Yeah. I think you can gradually build your way
Yeah.
down in temperature, right? Like I've done it already, like in the 40s, and dude, that's cold.
Yeah.
So I can't
Yeah.
imagine getting I see people breaking the ice to
Yeah.
get in
Well,
there. I'm
in the
like,
winter, we'll move it outside.
Yeah.
So we don't have to run the electrical pump and
That
then
makes
cool
sense.
it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So will freeze up in the winter where you get the sledgehammer and
Bust
try
it
and
open.
Bust it
Yeah.
open.
Dude, and you're supposed to plunge like up to your
Yeah.
neck.
Well, you want to
like-
cover the heart.
Well, I always heard it was like up to the back of your spine, like up your neck.
I ain't going that far.
Well, yeah, I heard it's like you got to get your spine in there because that's like your nervous system. It really resets. So
No,
I did it. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, dude, it was bad.
But like there's good science and recovery for it. Now you got to be careful because there's also studies that indicate that it doesn't help with muscle growth, right?
Right,
So
right.
if you go in, from what I understand is that if you're focused on hypertrophy and growing muscle,
Yeah.
that you got to make sure that you structure your ice bath outside of that outside of an hour after you worked out.
Okay.
Right. So if you worked out and I got a good workout for hypertrophy, wait to go in the ice bath until you're outside of that hour window.
Makes sense.
You know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But for inflammation control
Yep.
and things like that. But ultimately, again, it's like I go in it like, yeah, there are maybe some scientific benefits, but the reason I'm going in it is not really for that. It's just for mental clarity,
Yeah.
for mental resiliency, physical resiliency,
Yep.
right? And just doing something because it sucks,
Right.
right? And
It's
being
challenge, yeah.
uncomfortable,
Being uncomfortable.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. You got to, I don't know who else started saying it, but get get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, right. I've heard,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, there's, put on some music, take a hit of the smelling salts.
Yep. Yeah.
And then go in. But yeah, and it helps, mental clarity, right? And when you get out, man, you're like, yes.
Dude, I shivered.
Yeah.
I could not get warm. I bet you an hour and a half after I got out of the damn cold plunge, I was freezing. I could not get warm.
In the winter, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, that's when I did it.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. But no, I love a challenge. So
but then,
great.
you could do hot, it's hot and cold therapy. So you could do hot tub, ice bath.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
That makes it even worse. Going from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
I love that. And your wife does it too.
Oh, she goes first.
Ladies first. He is a gentleman.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
She goes first. She loved. No, it was my idea, but she's the guinea pig.
She just wants to get it over with. She's like, yeah, I'll get it over with. I love that. So do you guys have kids or anything?
No kids.
Okay,
no.
So it's just, I was gonna say the kids are getting in there too.
No.
Yeah. Well, dude, I love that you guys built this lifestyle around just better health.
Yeah.
Because I mean, no one wants to get old. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? I keep hearing it. Like the baby boomers want to live forever. I'm like, I think everybody wants to, live as long as they can, as long as it's a good quality of life.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to have a good quality of life in your later years, if we're blessed to have them, is to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it all starts with just getting your body moving.
Stronger, longer.
Motion
is lotion.
Yeah. I love it.
That's awesome.
Dude, I love it. I don't know what else we can talk about, but man, I just love, I love having you as a member.
That's awesome.
Two, I love when I see couples working out together, because one of my old saying is couples that train together remain together.
Yeah.
And I think that's just having that relationship that you're both kind of on the same page, that the importance of health and taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
I love it, brother. I love it. Man, I think we've talked about everything we could talk about this episode, but what's your brother's name that passed away?
Michael.
Yeah. Well, dude.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out to Michael. Whatever you can find to motivate you, to give you discipline, to give you that little edge, think about your purpose and your reason, and think that way rather than excuses. And just know that the hardest part is opening the door sometimes. So just walk through the door.
Good day.
And everybody that's on this side of the door, under this roof, in any of the locations, respects the hell out of you for walking through the door and taking control of your health.
Yeah. Rock and roll.
That's it. Yeah, man.
Cool.
Thanks, brother.
Awesome.
Appreciate
brother.
you. Yeah, dude, that was fun.